Good morning. It's wonderful to be here with my faith family. Most of you already know I'm Becky Warren. In case you're a visitor, I'm Becky Warren. I've been here a long time. I had the privilege of going on the Thailand trip. And as I contemplated the mission trip to Thailand, I have been struck metaphorically, just slain in the spirit by the privilege of being part of the church that the Rai family considers their sending family, their home family of faith. My hope is that when we finish sharing with you today, you will again see the Rais as family, members of the FCC family, our family out on mission. And I truly do mean a family out on mission. The children are just as involved in the ministry as their parents are, and you will see and hear that as we do our presentation. I thank our Father, as well as those of you who helped support us through finance and prayer, for the opportunity to join our brothers and sisters, the Rai family, for a short time in Thailand. And I'm going to let Mandy take over the microphone here and talk a little bit about Thailand.
That's quick.
It was quick.
I know, right? Okay, so let's get acquainted with Thailand. There's Thailand. So it's a country in Southeast Asia located on the Indo-Chinese peninsula. It is officially known as the Kingdom of Thailand and historically Siam until 1939. It has a population of almost 66 million people. And it spans approximately 198,115 square miles. So a pretty big place. The time difference, which is something that we did struggle with when we were there, is 11 hours. Thailand is 11 hours ahead of us. So when we would want to speak with our husband or children, or we always had to look at the phone and, they're still in bed, or that was one of the challenges. Thailand's climate. They have three main seasons. They have a rainy season, the northeast monsoon season, and then summer. We were there during the rainy season. However, it really didn't rain that much. So that was a plus for sure. So Bangkok's real name. Yeah. Guess what? I can't say it, but it's approximately 8 words, and that's the name. So it is the longest ceremonial place name in the world. Locals commonly refer to the city by its much shorter name, Krung Thep, meaning City of Angels. The shorter Bangkok name refers to an older, smaller village that by that name on the west bank of the Chao Phraya River. So Buddhism is the dominant religion in Thailand. Nearly 96.4% of the population practices Theravada Buddhism, though the country's constitution guarantees freedom of religion for other faiths. Islamic makes up about 2.1%, Christian 1.3%, and then other 0.3%. So with Christianity obviously being in the minority in Thailand, missionaries like the Rais have much work to do in spreading the word and the love of Jesus. And now Becky.
Don't trip. Mandy, you're making me nervous on this cord down there. Sorry, I should have flipped my page before. After a very, very long trip, like multiple days to get there, we were joyously greeted at the airport by the Rais, and they were very excited to see us. They recognized our weariness, however, and they promptly transported us to the lovely hotel they had arranged for us. Once settled there, the Rais returned to their house, which was nearby, leaving us for a very little time of rejuvenation. It wasn't long before we were heading out and seeing Bangkok. It is truly a massive city. As the evening approached, Saturday evening, we gathered with a house group of the Nepali Gorkha Christian Alliance Church of Thailand. Try saying that a few times. The Rai family all help serve this congregation, both when they gather as a house group and for Sunday morning worship. These kind, faith-filled people face difficult challenges in Thailand. Many come from Myanmar and encounter ongoing legal and bureaucratic hurdles, dangerous and precarious work conditions, and they are at high risk of being victims of the sex trafficking industry. Despite all these difficulties, they were an absolute joy to gather with. They gather in a small spot, and they welcomed us in just to worship the Lord. And then, of course, well, they fed us, which is going to be an ongoing theme that you hear. They fed us a fabulous meal. We were embraced with love and enjoyed being with this multi-generational group of devoted people, ranging from the age of small in the arm all the way up to the wise ones of many years. On Sunday, we again gathered with the Nepali church for worship. Before worship began, we watched as a Nepali woman created exquisite flower arrangements for the worship center. Each Sunday, this woman creates these arrangements, and she travels across the vastness of Bangkok, which I'm going to continue to call it, on public transportation, carrying her baskets of fresh flowers and all the supplies she needs. This is not even her church home. When she is finished, she quietly leaves with a smile on her face, having created these exquisite flower arrangements right in front of us. We went on to worship, and worship was lively, engaging, and multi-generational. We were blessed with the singing voices of a niece and an uncle who were seeking refuge from the violence of Myanmar. We heard from both men and women leaders and enjoyed the joyous singing of the children as they lifted their voice in praise. I was asked to provide a personal testimony, and then Marcus was invited to present the sermon. As I was giving my testimony, Mandy, Darcy, the Rai kids, and the children of the congregation headed upstairs to start Sunday school. And this is a little room, no heat, no air conditioning, just hot. just hot. But it was a joyous time. We were so blessed to have our new dear sister, Pang, provide translation from English into Thai, and she would be with us a significant part of our time. The Rai children helped us as well, of course, and then Darcy was right there beside us. The Nepali children and the adults who helped navigate the language and cultural barriers were enthusiastic, attentive, joyful as we read scripture, shared the Max Lucado book, You Are Special, and made God's eyes with the children using craft sticks and yarn. On Monday morning, we set out for a busy day of ministry engagement. First, we visited a new ministry with the Rais that they are getting familiar with. It's called Beautiful Creations Cafe and Bakery, also known as Samaritan Creations. It's provided by Mike and Kay Keller and their family, who are full-time missionaries in Thailand. Don't let the lovely name fool you. The cafe is a pretty side of a raw ministry to the women of Bangkok who have been victimized and caught up in the sex industry. The Keller family go out to the red districts and invite these women off the streets to leave their highly profitable yet very risky line of work. First, they spend time creating relationships with these women, serving them where they are. With trust and opportunity, they ask the women to join the cafe for a year-long journey which offers safe living, opportunities to learn about God's grace, learning life skills, and a trade that will keep them off the streets. Of the over 100 women that they have served over the years, only 2 of the women have ever returned to the sex trade. The women that decide to commit to this offer are given a safe place to live in community with each other on the second floor. Lost my page. On the second floor of the building that the cafe exists in. Any children that they are raising, which may be their own or somebody else's, are included in that community. After a year of safe living, training, and transformation, these courageous women are ready to enter society as productive members with honorable skills to offer. The Rise hope to continue to support this ministry in new ways. The cafe is twofold. It does include a cat cafe. That's Luca up there in the corner. And the significance of this cat cafe is this is one of the ways that they raise funds in order to keep their ministry going. People actually pay to come in and visit with these cats, in large part because the cats in Bangkok are feral and unapproachable. So this gives them an opportunity to enjoy some cats. The second part of the cafe is directed at the women being loved on. On Monday, we visited the cafe around lunchtime, and we were treated to a beautifully laid out platter of fresh tropical fruits and pastries, along with a homemade lunch of Thai fried rice, followed by delicious cafe drinks, including the creative foam art that our baristas here in the States know how to make. All of this was prepared by a few of the women who had just recently joined Beautiful Creations. We were humbled to be served by these courageous women. After our time at Beautiful Creations, we shifted to the homeless ministry, Ban Rahtek. This was such a powerful experience. We met Pahan, the director, at the building that serves as home base for this ministry. After some instructions, and loading up on water and snacks, we headed out to the streets. Billy, who is as much a character as this picture would imply, they call him, that's right, they call him a rockabilly, and he is an Elvis lover. He and his wife have an instrument shop. They repair instruments, and it's maybe half this size at the most. That basically shows you their entire workspace right there. It was very small. But Billy and his wife operate this musical instrument, and he serves with Pa'an in the ongoing work of the homeless ministry. On Mondays, Billy and his wife set aside their business activity to provide a place of worship, a fellowship, prayer, right there on the sidewalk in front of their shop. And this is a significant sacrifice for them because income is not great. So they literally set aside their time and their income in order to do this. There are regulars who gather, embracing each other as friends and family. One of the non-homeless members that is a regular at worship is a lady who on Tuesdays provides a free clothing market for those without stable housing. She attends with her friendly lovebird, who took time to hop around to each of us and give us some love. There are also non-regulars who, out of curiosity, just gather and join in. They may not be without housing, or they may have stable housing. It doesn't matter. They are greeted as friends. Everyone is offered snacks and water and invited to join in a time of worship music, followed by words of good news and hope. Then there is the laying on of hands as the prayer, powerful prayer, is sought and accepted by humble hearts. It was possibly the most powerful, spirit-filled time of worship I have ever experienced. This ministry touched me deep in my heart. We were invited back with open arms, and I truly hope to return soon. After 3 days of ministry activity with a boat ride interlude, we were blessed to spend 2 nights on the island of Koh Samat in the Gulf of Thailand, off the coast of Thailand's Rayong province. Although it was a wonderful time to spend in a lovely tropical island, it was even more wonderful to share time to rest and rejuvenate with the Rai family. They are on the go all the time. Anoop with his preaching and ministry leadership commitments, all of them with their multiple ministry involvements, then there's school for the kids and teaching for Darcy, not to mention the demands of life with 3 young children in a foreign country. Our sharing of their time as a family was a privilege, painted by a slower pace, amazing tropical views, good food, and lots of laughter. Upon our return to the mainland, our ministry activity moved to a different area of Thailand. And so I'll return the mic to Mandy, who will go on to talk about the busiest time of our ministry.
Yeah, so right now, everybody just needs to take a big breath. And I mean a big, deep breath, because that's what we had to do. This part was a whirlwind, but it was so fulfilling. We met at the Rise House prior to our departure for Nonthaburi, which is about 1.5 hours north of Bangkok. We grabbed Pang and Darcy and Anoop and Caleb and Luca and Ella, and then we took off to Nonthaburi. So this picture is one of our detours. We took a detour to visit Old Siam, just to experience some of the culture of this amazing country. We toured the ruins of Ayutthaya, which is the capital city of Thailand, was the capital city of Thailand during 1350 to 1767. If any of you guys remember the musical The King and I, based off of Old Siam, and King Mongkut of Siam, also known as King Rama IV, he ruled Siam, which is now modern-day Thailand, from 1851 to 1868. Interesting, though, the musical and all its adaptations have been banned in Thailand due to their historical inaccuracies and perceived disrespectfulness of the beloved monarch. So, we really didn't get to talk much about the King and I. So, now we're going on to Nonthaburi. And we're back on track. So we're on to Nonthaburi, and upon arrival, we checked into our accommodations and drove to a house fellowship. When I say a house fellowship, these people, they meet at someone's residence under a canopy of tarps, wood, and metal sheets. Most of the people at this house fellowship we would see again at the Thai church on Sunday morning. However, we didn't know that at the time. Marcus was asked to share a message, and I was asked to share a personal testimony. We sang, we prayed, and then we ate. On Saturday morning, our first ministry was at the Manna House, or the Blessing House. This is a school where 15 children are sponsored by various missions for a year so they can attend the school to learn English, stories from the Bible, and the love of Jesus. Becky and I were in charge of 1.5 hours of lessons. Whew. We began with introductions, prayers, songs, and then we moved into Bible lessons and English lessons. Obviously, as you can see by one of this, well, you can kind of see, there's a lot more than 15 children that were present. So Becky and I had this joke that word must have gotten out that these silly American women are coming to sing songs and talk about Jesus, and so all the kids wanted to come. But we look at them. So we served snacks, we did Bible stories, we did crafts, then we ate. Our next stop was Sukapan. This was an outside ministry located in a small community. There were close to 30 children that came. Darcy and Anoop said that's the most that had ever come. Introductions were made, we prayed over the children, we taught them songs and signs, we read a story about praying to Jesus. We made a stoplight that they could take with them to help remind them to stop and talk to Jesus, slow down and make time for God, and to go God's way every day. We ended with more songs, a prayer, and then we ate. The next stop was Sinai. This was an outdoor community shelter where the children were mostly from Buddhist families. Upon our arrival, it was amazing. The children had prepared a song in Thai with hand motions to welcome us. Following their song, we had introductions, we prayed over the children, we read the book, You Are Special. The children made God's eyes with yarn and popsicle sticks just to remind them that they will always be special in God's eye. One of the things that Becky and I always noticed about these beautiful children, that they were so eager to learn and so eager to thank us. Whenever we would hand them anything, they would always look at us and say, "Thank you, teacher," in the most amazing English that they could possibly speak. It just made our hearts smile that they were so grateful. So now we go back to the hotel to rest before the next day. Well, God decided that we needed just a little more excitement. Becky's and my key stopped working to our room, so Marcus and Tyler willingly let us sit in their room until our key got to work. Our toilet wouldn't flush, and we had 0 hot water. Oh yeah, I forgot. We had another craft that we had to come up with because we had so many children that we had used all our materials. So we brainstormed and came up with a Bible story and a craft that we could do the next day, all while trying to stay awake because, truthfully, we were tired. So Sunday morning found us heading to the Thai church in Nonthaburi. The people were waiting. They ushered us in to the front of their sanctuary, to benches. They had a praise band. I don't know if you could see it. This gentleman on the left, he was the associate pastor. He was also a member of the praise band. All the praise band had these cute matching jackets. It was so cute. They all had those little jackets. It was really cute. But one of the most heart-touching moments was when a family joined the church and made their confession of faith. In the Thai church, the entire family makes their confession of faith and joins the church together. So this is the picture. You see the grandma, you see the son, the daughter, the children. They all joined together. It was absolutely heartfelt. We were so blessed to be able to experience that. Anoop introduced Marcus, Tyler, Becky, and myself. And Anoop shared a little bit about his ministry here at FCC along with Darcy's. Becky shared a testimony, and then she and I, along with all the children, including Anoop, went upstairs to teach the children's message. Marcus stayed and shared a message with the congregation, and Pang, our interpreter, stayed with Marcus, and Anoop went up with us. And mind you, Anoop is just learning Thai. He is not fluent in Thai. So there were many moments of our children's message where Anoop was kind of like, ugh. It was very comical, but we managed, and it was very fun. We taught them the lesson from Matthew 5, "You are the light of the world." We taught them this little light of mine, and they all got to take a solar candle with them. After this lesson, we all came downstairs. They bring all the children up front, and everybody sings and prays over the children. It's really very spiritual. And everybody prays aloud. There's no silence in the church. There's just many, many voices praying very loudly, very audibly, and you definitely feel the Spirit of Jesus during that time. So following the lesson, or following everything, we all went into this little room. They had this, oh, those are tears. I know, sorry. So anyway, following the service is over. They usher us into this little room, the only room in the sanctuary that is air conditioned, and we eat. So if you all haven't noticed, the Thais' love language is definitely food. They love to feed you. Our next ministry stop was Versailles for an outdoor ministry in a park. We enjoyed playing on the park equipment before the children arrived. And as we began every one of our children's ministries, introductions, we prayed over the children, and then we taught them a Bible study, we sang songs, taught them signs to go with the songs. And during this one particular ministry, there was a little boy who had a toothache, and Becky, he was so, yeah. So Becky took a cup, filled it full of ice, and just sat with them and prayed with them, just showing the love of Jesus by example. And then guess what we did? We ate. So we had one final ministry that day, and it was in Banglan. This is the newest location where Darcy and Anoop are hoping to build a church. So many children showed up. The building was so small that we had to line chairs up along the sides of the room. Our Bible story was about the great flood and the promise that God made to never flood the earth again. We made our fly by the seat of our pants craft, which wasn't the best, but you know what? They were so appreciative and grateful. And then guess what we did? We ate. After that, our drive back to Bangkok was safe and uneventful. We were totally exhausted, but our cups were full. We ate dinner together. Of course, we had to eat because we were starved. We debriefed on the mission, the highs, the lows, the challenges, the celebrations, and then we went back to the hotel to prepare for our trip the following morning. We had a 4-hour nap, and then we went to the airport. So, what's next?
I think how it impacts.
Oh, so do you want to go first? You want me to go first? Okay, I'm almost done, Marcus. Okay. We're doing brevity because we went a little long in the first. It was fast. Don't you feel like it was a whirlwind? Okay. So anyway, when we think about the impact of this was my first mission trip, and the impact of it was much. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay, all right. So, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I just always pray to be the hands and feet of Jesus every day to whomever I may see, to whomever I may meet. This bracelet helps remind me of that. But also, this was such an opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and to love on people who need to know the love of Jesus. We all may be different, but we all have the blood of Jesus Christ flowing through us. The Rye family, they're amazing. All 5 of them have hearts of service, and they are just to walk with them during those few days was humbling and life-changing. I need to listen praises to my mission mates. Becky, well, I don't even know. We had the best time. We kind of fed off each other, and we both love to sing. We both can be silly. We can be serious, but we're able to share the love to all these little children and to adults as well. Becky is an amazing sister in Christ, and I'm so blessed that I got to spend this time with her. Tyler, although he's not here, he was ever present and totally stepped out of his comfort zone. And then there's Marcus. So let me tell you, no, this is true. This is true. He displayed love, leadership, patience, and humility, even when he had food poisoning. He exercised
It was just a brief food poisoning.
Well, it was bad enough.
It's less than 24 hours.
Well, okay. He really did have patience with Becky and myself, because we can be a lot. He attempted to keep us all focused. He provided uplifting messages and shared the love of Jesus to all. It was an amazing opportunity, and I thank all of you all for your prayers and anything else that you may have done to help us go on this mission. And I can't wait to go back.
Hear, hear. Me too. When I think about how this trip impacted me, the first thing is that these people go out of their way to be involved in ministry. They don't have great transportation. They don't have money. It is just phenomenal that these people, this is their life. I mean, they truly understand walking in the day, today with the Lord. And that, to me, came home to go out of my way. To go out of my way to walk with the Lord. And that's probably the big piece.
I can talk from here, but thank you. Yeah.
Hey, how about that?
Great job. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I learned some things too. And, Thailand is, like Mandy said, is less than a few percent Christian population. And so we just want to join where God is working, and God's certainly working in Thailand amongst the people there, and we really enjoyed our time there, and the people were gracious and beautiful. Mission was accomplished in terms of finding, future partnership continuations, check, ministering to the Rise and help filling their cups, check. We certainly did that. Blessing, those that we came in contact with, check, and then we were in turn, of course, blessed beyond measure from the whole experience. I'm just grateful that I could come back to my room after a day with Becky and Mandy, and Tyler would just look at me, and we'd both put our headphones on and just ignore each other. So that wasn't all good, but it wasn't all bad either. So, sometimes you just need to refocus. So great energy, though. Those two, I don't know how they did it those last 48 hours because I couldn't keep up with them. So I just sat in the corner and was like doing the crafts with the kids because that's all I could do. But thank you so much for presenting today. And we hope you'll join us again in the future on a different trip there, hopefully sometime in the next year or two. And continue to pray for the Rise and their ministry, and you'll continue to hear about what's going on in Thailand.